History is being made in high school sports, and it's girls flag football. It has arrived in full force, and today we feature the Trabuco Hills Mustangs, their coach, Rick Metzdorf, and his 4 seniors. Join us as these trailblazers demonstrate their real skill, knowledge, and love for football. This is Coach's Corner. I'm Paul Higgins, and all the action starts right now.
Mustangs!
Coach, I just said have fun, and obviously you're having a great time with the girls.
Yes, I am.
What a great opportunity for you, first time coaching, first time flag football for girls on the high school level. Overall thoughts about that?
You know, I didn't know that they had approved it for California. I've been seeing some flag football with the girls on YouTube and some other states. Hadn't been looking for it, and somebody approached me and said, hey, did you know that they voted it in for California? So kind of started thinking about the prospect of coaching, but didn't have a job, and Trabuco approached me and I was able to step up and do it. So super excited.
And you're a Mustang true and true, 4 kids that have gone through this school. You guys got off to a fast start. Why did you get off to such a fast start? 4-1 in the league, 4-4 overall now, but what a great start.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't know really what to expect. We went right back to basics. A lot of these girls have never played football. Some of them had seen it. I think I have 1 true freshman that actually played league flag football before this season. So we literally went from nothing, and we started with the basics, even as much as the terminology, and focused on the details and got them to run plays and put an offense together and won some football games.
You certainly have. The biggest challenge, what has the biggest challenge been for you? Is it the learning curve, or is it you coaching, like learning how to coach the way you want to coach? Tell me about that.
It is a little different. I mean, I've always coached the boys, and at a younger level. I mean, I was a rec league coach.
Right.
Hadn't coached at the high school level before, but I have a daughter and watched her play soccer and run track and all the way into collegiate soccer. So I know how the girls team function versus the boys. So I had an idea. I think just trying to figure out and navigate all the stuff that goes into being a head coach at a high school. I mean, there's a lot of administrative stuff behind the scenes that you don't see. Balancing all that and making sure that we put it all together to get the girls to actually, perform out on the field and have fun, but learn how to play football.
Yeah, you told me, I said I talk loud on camera, and you said, well, I might do that too. You're soft-spoken, but you can bring it, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Does that ever scare the girls? Like, oh, I better hold it back.
I do remind them when I'm correcting them. I say, hey, this is, I'm doing it for your benefit. I still like you. I want to make sure you can hear me. So my wife reminds me of that too sometimes, saying, hey, you're being a little loud. But yeah, I want to make sure I get my message across to them and that they hear me and understand what I'm trying to get them to do.
You've been married 32 years, and your wife's name is Michelle, right?
Yes.
And you said beautiful Michelle in the text that you sent me. What does she think about you taking on this challenge of coaching these young ladies?
She's very excited for me too. She knows how much I loved coaching when I was doing it. And we're kind of at a season in our life where our kids are, growing up, moving out. And so we have this maybe a little extra time outside of work and family, and she's been to the games, and she knows how much I love it, so she's very excited for me.
I'm excited to meet the 4 girls I'm about to meet. Initially met them a few minutes ago, but I get a chance to interview them. What is the one thing that you have said in terms of advice to these young ladies on how to come onto the football field? I know you teach life lessons as well as you did in the rec department, but can you share some of those thoughts real quick with us?
Yeah, we have a couple things that we made, I guess, mission statements for the team this season. This is the first season. It's inaugural. There's no other flag football team that's ever played at Trabuco for the girls. So we have a couple things that we put in place. One was play with power, with purpose. So it's not just being out on the field and running the plays, but having intention about what you're doing. You know, this is a true team sport and it requires everybody to do their part. And so that's one of our sayings, power with purpose. And then the other one we talked about was tradition starts today. So everything these girls are doing this year, this is a first. And so we wanted to make sure we communicated to them the character, how they hold themselves, not just on the football field, but in the classroom and with their peers and everybody else, because there is somewhat of a microscope on this this first season. So those are the messages that we communicated, and I think they've embraced it, and they're loving it.
Well, those are fantastic messages, and you're a pioneer, and I was so happy to meet you and to learn what you're doing. Congratulations, and we're going to definitely catch up and cover you. And again, all the best the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
When we come back, we'll start to meet the Lady Mustang seniors. Coming up next, Lexi Hunsley. You're watching Coach's Corner. I'm Paul Higgins, and we'll be back right after this short break.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
So Lexi, when people find out that you're a center on a flag football team, what do they say?
Typically people ask me why I'm not a tight end because of my height, but I tell them my center of gravity isn't necessarily there because I'm 5'10", not the skinniest little twig, so it's often hard to dodge people.
You know, but you mentioned the word dodge. The defense has to dodge around you, right?
Yes.
So you're a predominant force on that offense. Tell me what you enjoy most about the position that you play.
What I most enjoy is when I get blocking calls from the girls on the field, not the refs. I had this one girl a couple of games ago, I'm running my route and she's just screaming at her coach going, "She's blocking me, she's blocking me." I promise you I'm not trying to block you, I'm just trying to run my route.
And your thoughts about, I talked to you earlier today about being a pioneer. You guys are a trailblazer, first girls to play flag football at Trabuco Hills. When you hear that and then realize what you're starting, can you share your thoughts about that?
Personally, I think it's really cool that we finally get such great representation in a usually male-dominant sport because, you know, I've done male sports before and football has honestly been my favorite, and so I just think it's really fun. And when someone asks me what sport I do, I think it's really cool to be like, I play football.
Yeah. Your thoughts about you play football, but also you cheer for football. So you're around football quite a bit.
I am.
What does your dad think about that?
My dad loves football and he loves watching me cheer too. So he loves coming to my games and then my flag football games and then coming to the cheer games to watch me cheer. So he really loves both of those, like the best of both worlds.
So Lexi, there's a camaraderie that you have in cheer, right? With the girls. Is there a different camaraderie that you have in this sport because it's a more physical sport?
For sure, for sure.
Tell us about that.
So with flag, I feel as if more connected to them because we're all driving towards the same passion, whereas in cheer you have different positions, different roles, but like here we're all here for the same purpose.
Great answer to that question. By the way, you're doing fantastic.
Thank you.
And you said you were nervous. There's nothing to be
Just a
nervous
little
about. Do you get nervous when you line up and get ready to play football?
Oh, for sure. My heart is like pounding through my ears because I'm like, if I mess up this singular snap, we're down. Like we're already second down, we're already off by, not like disadvantaged. So it is stressful, but I love it.
What's the hardest thing about football for you young ladies? Is it learning the terminology? Is it learning to be where you need to be? And do you have, I'm asking you a lot of questions right now, do you have an appreciation now for everything that goes on in a football game?
Yes, for sure. I mean, the hardest thing for me personally is probably, catching. I got butterfingers sometimes, but definitely learning where you're supposed to be because, you know, like on cheer, like you're like, oh, like who was open for that pass? But it's like there's so many different variables going into that pass that people don't understand.
Your thoughts about maybe doing this in the future? Is this something that if you were coming in as a freshman, right, would you see a career in college, you know, going or moving forward with this? And I guess your thoughts about that one?
Yeah, so some of the colleges that I'm looking into, they do offer a club football team, so I've been honestly really interested in that.
Would you ever coach this game of girls flag football?
If I had an amazing assistant coach, for sure, I would definitely need more understanding, but I love this sport, so yeah, I think it'd be really cool.
So you have 4 seniors on this team. I get to meet all 4 of
Yes.
you. And again, you're trailblazers. Do you think in 10 years when you come back for your 10-year high school reunion, you're going to go, remember when we did Coach's Corner? Remember when we defeated
Yes.
XYZ team?
I would love, yes.
Isn't that going to be kind of special?
I think that'll be really cool, especially because I think the sport's going to blossom so much. So I think this team is really going to go somewhere.
Your thoughts about when you heard that this was going to happen, that flag football was going to take place at Trabuco Hills High School, what made you put that extra step forward and say, I'm going to do this?
Yes, so the coach is actually my neighbor, and I played powder puff with just the senior and junior game. So even just playing that was super fun for me. So I was like, I mean, a season out of this to be the first inaugural season, I think that would be like history making.
Yeah. Words of advice to the freshmen, the sophomores that are playing.
For sure. My word of advice is, regardless on what team you're on, always do your best and put your best foot forward, put 100% into every practice because that's exactly how you're going to play.
You're going to do fantastic, and you did a great job in the interview.
Thank you.
Nice job.
This senior group of Lady Mustangs are definitely bonded. Up next, we'll meet the running back, Danella Luden. She's a fun player to watch and leads by example. More of Coach's Corner right after this.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
So you run the football quite a bit, right?
Yes.
Tell me, when you know that you're going to get a play called for you, tell me what that mindset is. What's going on in that head of yours?
I just try to walk in and know, don't fit it too much because they can kind of read that. So I just get in place, look at the ball, and just get ready to go.
So running back, how did you pick that, or did Coach pick it for you?
Coach basically picked it for me.
And I'm guessing, I haven't seen you play yet, but I'm guessing you're pretty fast.
I mean, I would say I'm pretty fast.
How do you use that to your advantage? Because you have to be fast and also quick and agile. Tell me about that.
I just try to look at the defense and try to work around them and not run straight into them. So I just use my speed and just maneuver my way.
Do you ever get to play defense?
Yeah, I start defense.
Okay, so tell me about, if you were to choose, Coach says, hey, you're going to have to choose offense or defense this game. What would it be?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I really like defense, but honestly offense. I feel like that's where all the plays need to be made.
So why is it that you guys got off to such a great start and that you guys are playing really good flag football?
We have an amazing coach. He's been coaching flag football for a while, and he's able to work with us and teach us football, which we didn't really know much about football before, so he was able to teach us that.
Speaking to that, what is the hardest thing for you guys to grasp onto, or personally? Is it remembering the plays? Is it remember where you need to be? You're laughing, but tell me about that.
I had a really tough time learning the routes and then also remembering each play because we have a lot. We have up to 40 or 50.
Really?
Yeah.
You have 40 or 50 plays?
Yes.
Your coach is crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, he has been doing this a while.
Yes, he has.
So it looks like your group of 4 girls that are seniors, it looks like you guys have a good time together.
We do.
Tell me about that.
We weren't as close as we were right now, but we're having a really good time as this is our last year ever here, so we're just trying to make the most of it.
When you first heard about this game of flag football and knowing that it was an opportunity, did you jump right at it or did you have to think about it? Tell me about that process of thinking.
So I played powder puff last year for my school, and right away I was like, I want to play flag football, and we didn't really know if we were going to have one or not.
Yeah.
So I kept talking to Maya, and I was just like, we need a flag football team. Can we get a coach? And then finally we got one, and I was like, I'm here.
You know what's funny is that Coach said he was at Green Thumb Nursery in El Toro, and he was there on a whim, and he said he's never been there before.
Yeah.
And he had a fellow coach come up to him and say, hey, they need a coach at Trabuco Hills. If he doesn't show up, you guys might not have a team.
Yeah.
So it was a blessing.
It was a blessing.
Yeah. What advice, and I asked this to Lexi, what advice do you give the freshmen and the sophomores that are going to follow in your footsteps?
Honestly, just keep working hard. It's not a normal sport for us, so we just need to put in all the effort we can and just remember as much as we can.
Yeah. And you mentioned you played Powder Puff, so you
Yeah.
had a little bit of, knowledge about football. But now that you're in the thick of it with 40 to 50 plays, when you watch college football or even high school football with the Mustangs or professional, do you have a deeper appreciation for these guys?
Oh, 100%. I didn't really know much about football before, but now watching it, I can actually like understand it.
What's the hardest thing about this game for you?
Ooh. Not getting flags called on us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. But have you had a lot of penalties this year?
We have. The refs haven't been too happy with us, but we just work through it and we win, so.
I'm guessing, not having seen you guys yet, and of course we're rolling footage in, but I'm guessing you're a physical football team.
Honestly, we're not. It's just some of our routes they don't really like.
I gotcha.
So.
Okay. So when you're route running, and do you get the ball coming out of the backfield?
Yeah.
Do you get excited about that because it opens up? Tell me about
that.
I
do. As a left back, I run, and there's always a soft spot for me. So whenever there's a soft spot, I get really excited when the ball is coming.
Is there things that Coach has told you that really sticks? I know he told me some of the themes of this year.
Yeah.
And you guys are trailblazers, and no one's ever done this before.
I know.
With you guys. Tell me what he is saying to you that resonates.
Honestly, power with purpose. That's what we have on our shirts.
Yeah.
And that just really sticks with us.
Yeah, and he said that from the get-go, right?
Yeah.
Can you take that power with purpose and one day, take that to college and take that maybe to your professional life?
Oh, yeah. That goes a long way, not just with flag football, but also with life.
Just a short time left with you. What would be your goal this year, personal goal for the game of flag football and what you're doing?
Honestly, I think I've already done it. I've made so many more friends than I had before, and honestly, this is the most fun I've ever had.
That's a fantastic answer. You know what? You're delightful to interview, and I'm sure that you're exciting on the field, and I know that you're going to do great things. So thank you for taking time out of your day and doing this.
Thank you.
And congratulations on being a trailblazer with the
Mustangs.
Thank you. All right.
It is the most difficult position on the field, but Maya McKenna definitely has what it takes to play quarterback. Meet her next, right here on Coach's Corner.
So Maya, I just learned that you have 40 to 50 plays that you have to know. How the heck do you know all that stuff?
It's really broken down into the routes. We started with a tree and the routes just go off of it, so it's pretty easy once it's memorized, but the start was stressful.
I can imagine. Being a quarterback is stressful. You're the point person of the team. How did you get selected to be quarterback? Did you want to be quarterback?
In the beginning, I wanted to be quarterback. My brother played college football, so I kind of had a little experience with it. And then I came out and tried, and Coach agreed.
Did he play quarterback?
I don't think so.
Okay, so we're in the huddle right now, right?
Yes.
Give me a play. Pretend you're going to call a play. We're in the huddle. We got 5 other girls here, right? Because there's 7 on 7, right?
Yes.
Pretty good math, right?
Yes.
So give me a play. Here we go.
We have a shotgun double pass left, and then I'll call out the numbers for it.
Okay, so shotgun double pass left.
Yes.
Visually tell me what that is.
We have on the left side, our left receiver will go 5 yards back, and I'll throw the ball back to her, and then she'll look, she can either run it or she has an option to throw it too.
Okay, so of all the plays that I just asked you had 40 to 50 plays, how'd you pick that play?
I feel like that play is a really big, it helps in our game.
Okay.
That's a play that most people aren't expecting, and so it's a big play in our game.
So that is kind of like a go-to play. That's a go-to play that you guys use?
It's a once-in-a-while play that kind of just surprises the defense.
Okay, so with a quarterback, you have to be somewhat calm and you have to be control of the team.
Yes.
You seem like a calm person. Are you calm?
When it comes to game time, I do have a little bit of jitters, but I feel like once I get in the huddle, I kind of like realize I'm team captain. I need to help all the girls like settle down, so I try to be the calmest I can be.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to do one other thing. It's going to seem a little weird,
Okay.
right? So tell me your snap count. Give me like you're getting ready to, we're going to hike the ball right now.
Okay.
Tell me that in your voice. How does that sound?
It's set, go.
That's set, go, like
Yes,
that?
yeah.
Do it one more time for me.
Set, go.
Okay. Do you work on that in private?
No, I don't.
So now that you know how difficult the quarterback position is, and I've been asking every young lady this, do you have a great appreciation for the quarterback position and what they do in the professional and college, and even the high school level?
I do. It's very stressful getting in the huddle. You have to know your plays, know your routes. You have to know how fast every person is running to deliver the ball, and you're not throwing it to a spot, you're throwing it and anticipating where they're going to be while watching defense, and there's someone running after you, so it's stressful.
You just mentioned the key, that you throw it to a spot. And that's why I think when you see on TV, the quarterback goes, where were you?
Yeah.
Because they didn't get to that spot. And sometimes it makes you look bad, right?
Yeah.
And tell me, if I ran the wrong route, what do you say when I come back to the huddle?
Honestly, I'm like, do you know the route you're running?
See, I got it. You are a little aggressive, right? So that's good.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And I know that you guys are trailblazers, right? The
Yes.
first to do this. When you learned about that you were going to play football, what made you step over the line and say, I'm going to play it? I know you mentioned your brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
But tell me about, okay, I'm going to commit to this.
Honestly, we had a powder puff game last year, and so playing that, I really figured out, I was like, I feel like this is something I'm really good at, and I wanted to try something new, and I found out we were having flag football, and I thought this is my opportunity to try something new and get out there and try my best, and I really like it.
Tell me about the defensive side of the ball. You play defense?
Yes,
And what position?
I play safety.
So your thoughts about that safety position, you're the last person, right?
Yeah.
So if you give up a touchdown, it's, they get behind you or whatever. What's the most difficult aspect of playing that position of safety?
The most difficult aspect is you have to be able to watch the quarterback in the entire field while keeping an eye on your man. You need to realize if they're throwing it deep, which way it's going, who it's going to, and most of the time we're watching multiple people in the backfield, so we're really trying to focus on multiple people and don't let anyone behind you.
Man, if I'm starting a flag football team, I want you as my quarterback.
Thank you.
You really have it down tremendously. It's amazing how well that you just dished all that out.
Thank you.
Yeah, no wonder Coach likes you at quarterback. One thing for you before I let you go, what is your goal this year?
Honestly, to have fun and let the girls realize that this team is forever and we're starting history here, so it's kind of fun to be with everyone and start something new.
I'm so stoked that I'm here, kind of being part of your history, so thank you for allowing me to be here.
Thank you for interviewing.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
When we come back, we close out this edition of Coach's Corner with Christabel Sargent, a confident young woman that stands out as a leader. Christabel is next, right here on Coach's Corner.
Come on! Go, Diane! Yeah, keep it going! Yeah! Go, honey!
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane! Woo! You got this!
Christabel, I just learned something special about you.
Sure.
You swam, obviously, when you were younger.
Right.
But you hadn't done sports until your junior year.
No, not at all.
How did you decide to, first of all, you went out for track and field and you're in field events.
Right.
What prompted you to do that?
I have a friend by the name of Joey Carlos. He's on the tackle team, and he introduced me to it because he did it as well, and he knew that I was strong, and I have a strong upper body and I lift, and he's like, you'd be good at it and I'd like you to do it with me. So I was like, all right, give it a shot, and I kind of just fell in love with it.
And you're going to do it again
Absolutely.
this spring? Yep. So tell me, and I've been asking every young lady this, when the opportunity arose to play flag football, what prompted you to say, I'm going to do this?
So I had played powder puff last year, my junior year. I love the environment, I love the sport. I gained a new perspective of football overall, because before, if you had told me run a curl route, I would have just stared at you and just asked you what that meant.
Right.
But I always wanted to know about the sport, and I just like the idea of it. I like being part of a team.
What have you learned most about yourself playing this game? You're playing with a bunch of girls,
Right.
and it seems like you guys are really tight.
Absolutely.
But what have you learned about Christabel?
That I'm a little bit more athletic than I let on, or that I believed I was. I also found how to like coordinate and work with other people, especially when there's moments or like points of weakness within a team. Communication is key, and I learned that it's important for me to streamline like that communication, make sure that everyone's on the same page.
Very interesting you say that, because when you do swimming or you do track and field, those are individual, but they're team sports, right? This is a legit team sport where there's other people that have factors on the field. You hike the ball.
Right.
You start everything. Tell me about that and why you enjoy that.
I played that position in Powder Puff previously. I enjoy it because I have contact with the ball, and like I get to touch it, and I'm a crucial part of the dynamic. And yeah, I just like the way it goes. Just goes about.
Yeah, you're part of the action every single second,
Absolutely.
right? So when a play gets called, how much does your role change? The girls are saying we've got 40 to 50 plays. How much does that affect you?
Not much. Being a center is pretty consistent. It's usually a snap and then a curl route, maybe a streak, sometimes a fade. It doesn't change much, but the way you run it and how fast you run it, where you run it, all are components and keys.
If you weren't playing if you weren't playing center, I was just kind of leading into that question. Could you ever play quarterback? Would you ever see yourself doing that?
Maybe with a little bit of coaching, a little bit of help. I feel like as far as accuracy goes, not so much, but I'm able to throw the ball pretty far.
You seem like you're outgoing.
I am.
You seem like you have a dominant personality.
I appreciate that.
It seems like that you have control of, I haven't watched you yet again, I've been mentioning this to everybody, but it seems like you're kind of maybe a glue a little bit.
I appreciate that, and yes.
Okay.
I do my best. I feel that there's no point in conflict. I try to avoid it. I'm not saying like, oh, I hate confrontation or anything, but I do think that it's more beneficial for everyone if we just work together.
Yeah. So how physical is this? I've watched flag football with girls.
It gets physical, especially with dirty players. Yeah.
No one can imagine who, right?
No names. But there are points in time where like I'll do the wrong thing. I've gotten 10 yards for like illegal blocking or screening or whatever that is. But as far as we go, we're not that physical. As far as I've seen or I've come across. There are teams though that they like to get in your way. A little more than you should, you know. But it is what it is. And if the ref calls, the ref calls. If they don't, we just win the game.
That's true, and you've won a lot of games.
A lot.
And congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And you mentioned it is what it is, and you guys are trailblazers. First to do this at Trabuco Hills High School, and I congratulate you on that. And I thank you for allowing me to interview you and profiling you guys, because what a blessing. And congratulations.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Good job. That was awesome.